All right. Well, if you're listening to this, welcome back again. Like I said, Logan was going to jump off and because he had to go somewhere. But I wanted to talk a little college football because I just love college football. And Logan, he likes college football, but he doesn't watch it. He doesn't watch college football as much as I do. So like I was saying earlier, there's 6 undefeated teams left. It was UTSA, Wake Forest, let me think, Oklahoma, Georgia, Michigan State, and Cincinnati. So, like I said, that Michigan State game was good. Oh, Herschel Walker the second. That's who it was. Man, he ran so well. I think he has a chance of winning the Heisman this year. I would give it to him at this point, man. After I watched him play on this past Saturday, I tweeted a couple times and I was like, man, give him the Heisman. So that was the undefeated stuff. But there's another tweet that came out. I think this was before Saturday's game. Yeah, this was October 20, or this was maybe Saturday. I don't know. The highest graded true freshman is Caleb Williams, quarterback for Oklahoma. He is rated a 93.9. I don't know how these ratings go. I don't know what the highest is. But if he's the highest rated true freshman, I mean, that's pretty good. It was Trayshawn Ward, running back for Florida State, is a 90.8. So that's pretty good. I didn't realize Florida State had a true freshman running back that was doing that well. Georgia's tight end Brock Bowers is an 89.8, which that's kind of interesting. I haven't really heard about him, so he must be a pretty good player if he has an 89.8. And Tavion Henderson, running back for Ohio State, is an 87.7. So he's a true freshman, so that's kind of cool. I'm guessing he's the starting running back for Ohio State, and he's running away as a true freshman. That's kind of amazing. It's amazing for all these guys to be true freshmen and playing. You know, like we talked about a few weeks ago, Caleb Williams stole the job from Spencer Rattler. So let's go into our next tidbit of college football talk. I just got to find the next thing I want to talk about. I don't know. Like I said, I've been looking into games. Like, I've been, after I went to that Illinois game, I've been really wanting to go to another college football game. I'm really wanting to go Notre Dame game. So I'm really wanting to that. So my next, I've also looked into the Mizzou games. Might have to wait till next year. I would also like to go back to Champaign. They play Northwestern the last game of the season. I think that would be a cool game to go to, so I don't know. But there was some breaking information. Gary Patterson stepped down as the head coach of TCU, which was really interesting because he's been there for so many, I think like 15, 20 years. He pretty much built that program. Before he was even there, they weren't even in the Big 12. And he built that program and ended up, it sounded like it was a mutual agreement to step down. But I did hear from, I listened to the Cover 3 podcast from CBS, which is a college football podcast. And they said Gary Patterson expects to be coaching either next year or the year after. So he's going to be looking for other jobs. So I guess it was a mutual dumping. They said it was going to be interesting to see how people view this because with Oklahoma and Texas leaving after this year, is this like, are coaches going to look at the Big 12 and be like, that's going to turn in, instead of being a Power 5 conference, that's going to go down to a Group of 5 conference because the talent level, the teams and talent level in that conference isn't going to be very good? Or do they look at the TCU job and they're like, well, Oklahoma and Texas are leaving in 2 years, so TCU could be one of the better teams in that conference. So do I go there and rule the Big 12? So it'll be interesting to see how coaches view TCU, like Texas Tech, that is also open. So that goes into my next tweet I wanted to talk about. But the current FBS head coaching openings is USC. So Clay Helton got released earlier this year. LSU. So that was an interesting thing that me and Logan hadn't even talked about. I kept forgetting. I forgot to bring it up last week, and I forgot to bring it up this week. But Coach O and LSU agreed to part ways after the season. So they're letting them finish the season, but they're parting ways. I heard he kind of lost the locker room. Guys didn't want to play with him. And I don't know, there was other stuff about possibly him hitting on a booster or a member of the school or whatever. I don't know, that guy's wife or whatever, which is kind of weird. But speaking of Texas Tech, that is also open. Washington State is also open. And the weirdest part about that one was there was a mandate in Washington. Washington State job is also opening, and they made a mandate where you have to be vaccinated, and their head coach and some of their assistant coaches refused to do it, so he got fired. So the Washington State job is open. Also, Georgia Southern is open. But fun fact, I won't say that just yet because it might be a different job. But I think Georgia Southern just hired a coach, but I will confirm that information in a later tweet. But UConn is also opening, but that is a little bit of a mess because they haven't won. They won their first game in like 5 or 6 years or 4 years or something like that a couple weeks ago. So that is like the worst D1 job. So I don't think any coaches are running for that job. So I'm just scrolling to my next college